Still on the matter of having a transferable skills when coming abroad. I remember quite well my first job when I moved abroad. It was a plastic molding factory. It was a fast-paced job. I got the job. I was excited. At least I would be able to pay some of the bills because once you come in, the bills start ticking. And my guys are weak. They're already asking me for money, and so you just have to do what you need to do to get uh, some cash flowing in to settle the bills. I got this job. I was excited. I was placed on the night shifts. But when I got to the job, the first day, I was excited. I was doing. By the third week, I quit the job myself because I couldn't cope. Why? Because it was quite different from where I'm coming from. If you don't sit, for the 8 hours or 12 hours, you have just like about 30 minutes break. And when you are not on break, you are on the production line. And it just keeps going. You can't breathe, you can't just keep walking. You keep standing. And so I said, no, I need to get something more better. I sent out the taxi and to the agency, and I got another one, and which was a recycling system. It wasn't different from the other one also, because it was a fast-paced environment. Because abroad, they want to utilize every dollar you are being paid, so they make you to go to work. So, and being in that at the lower career, they just want you to work. If you're not ready to work, you are out of the place. Just go out. Let somebody else come in. And it goes and goes and goes and goes. And that is what, don't get me wrong, all of us started from here. I'm not ashamed to tell you, I went back with all the degrees and everything I'm coming with. I went back because once you get into the system, it's not going to be automatic for you to start flying. It takes time. You have to burn some candles. So in there, I moved to another company, another warehouse, just keep moving from one warehouse to the other, just to keep the bills going. And it wasn't easy. And at the point I started looking, I said, man, there could be a better way. And I started thinking, okay, I have these skills. So when I started applying. When I applied, I put on my resume, do everything, put everything, garnish it well. One or two, I was able to get interview. When I get there, they tell me, okay, can you do this? Can you do this? Okay, you can do this. Okay, are you certified in it? No, we can't give you the job. Are you satisfied in it? No, we can't give you the job. So I was forced to go back to the factory work. I did it for some years. But it's not easy. There is this particular one that usually comes to my mind. We are on the production line one day, and one lady, she was working, and all of a sudden, she collapsed. And I was thinking, man, because she had been stressed out, because you can't sit down, like the luxury you have back home, that you sit down, you bring chair everywhere. No, the factories, even the banks here, they have to stand for 8 hours or 12 hours or even 16 hours for overtime and everything. You're on your feet. You're on your feet. So that's why if any of your brother, sister who lives abroad sends you money, please learn to appreciate, because that money comes from real hard work. It comes from real hard work. So where are we going today? That was how it was going. It was just going from one warehouse to the other. And I sat myself down and said, man, I can do better than this. So I started looking into the job that I have. I got one or two interviews. The first one was good. Oh, you seem to know it, but are you certified? We need you to be certified for you to. to be able to do this, we can't just give you equipment to you to do this, you need to be satisfied. Can you? So I have to okay. At the point, I have to do a lot of things. I went to learn how to drive a forklift, different types of floor, just to raise my pay. I learned that. I learned so many things. I said, Josh, go back. So at the point I said no. I started doing some research and I come across, okay, the skill I have, the community college, they have programs that can help you achieve your certification. And when you get those certification, it will be easy at least to get you in the doorstep. So that was how I enrolled. I have to enroll in one of the community college. It was like 4 months program. I went through it, and after going through it, the certification, getting the certification itself was not easy. I wrote the exam, my first exam, 3 times before I was able to scale it. And by the time I was writing the second level, it just took me one attempt. So, but it wasn't easy. And during that time that I was going through that certification training, I have to drop on my job. I have to reduce the number of hours I'm working. So I couldn't even meet up with. So in between, I started uh, doing this delivery job. Deliver in the morning, go to school in the evening, go to work. Just doing that. After getting the certification, it now becomes even an issue getting, because when you have the certification, now they're asking you what experience, this experience, this thing. So you keep going from one interview to the interview. And I kept scaling from interview to interview. At the point I was saying, man, this thing is, you at first you said I don't have the certificate. I now got the certification. Now to get the job, you're not asking for this experience. You ask me some bit, it was, but I just kept pushing it. At the point I couldn't, I just abandoned it for like a year. And some of my friends, they was okay, let's become correctional officer. They have a lot of money there. You can do a lot of overtime. Boom! Everybody, we all rushed down. Went to be a correction officer. And I got there. Nice job, good job, with good benefit. But the stress was so high for me because psychologically you have to deal with inmates and this. It wasn't easy. So in between, I said, I started, what can I do? I have this certification, but I'm stranded here. I kept applying for jobs. So fortunately, I was getting interview. So when I get interview, was trying to make money and try to look for a job. Most time I would miss the interview call. And listen, at the point, I just woke up one day and I walked away from being a correction officer. No, I can't continue like this. I keep missing interviews. I just have to give myself a break, do the right thing, and get on the right track for what I want to do. So I want to go pursue my dream. I don't want to pursue money, because if I get my dream right, the money will pursue me. So that was how I left, and I went back to my delivery job. I was doing my delivery job, and I was busy sending my resume out, doing everything. I kept getting interview. And one thing I discovered, the more interview I go, the more it becomes easier for me to know what they were looking for, because each interview now becomes a lesson for the next interview. Because the question they ask, okay, do this, I'll go do a research of you. So I was, it was like a learning. So until when COVID struck, and this big, this international organization, I just received a call from them. Before then, I received a call from one, and I went through the interview, and they asked me one simple question on how to achieve something, blah, blah, blah. And I was dazed. I couldn't really figure it out. And the guy told me, you're good, but we have to go with somebody else. So I went to do a research on that, but I didn't really get it. So when COVID struck, this, they were asking people, employing people for remote work, and this is how this company called me and they gave me an interview. I was thinking it was a joke and blah 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 blah. Before I know it, I got the job. And when I got the job, that was the breakthrough. That was the point at which I stepped into the field. I have this, and we have to work most of the work remotely. And went through that, 6 weeks training. It was fantastic. Go through the training and we started, and we're supporting people from all over the world. They're coming, okay, remoting, do something, and it was a learning experience. It was a learning experience. 1 year down the line, another company just reached out to me, say blah 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 blah. Can you do this one? This? Let's talk. Now, and we went in there and they interviewed me based on everything I've learned, and the last job helped me to secure the job. Did another 1 year again. Another company came. We are around right now. And said, bro, okay, do this and do this and that. And that was how I get it. So the point is this. When you are coming abroad, make sure you have a transferable skills. And when you get here, yeah, it's not going to be easy. I know. It's not going to be easy, because you have bills to pay. And, because if you don't pay your bills, you're going to be homeless in no time. I understand. But you have to slow down yourself, to better up yourself. Go take some courses. There are so many community colleges around, especially for those of us in the systems who are still finding it very difficult to scale up. Please take a break from that factory job. If you have to reduce your hour, you don't have to do 16 hours, you don't have to do 12 hours. You can still combine the two. Go to these community colleges. I see some of my friends now, they are going back to school. They are trying to get it. So, and to your surprise, most of this certification training are very cheap. There are even some you can do online yourself and do a self-study. Go take the exams and pass the exam and move. And when you're transiting from those, it might be very difficult, but don't give up. Don't give up, just keep going. Just because if you have, it's like, prepare for the opportunity. If you are not prepared for the opportunity, when the opportunity comes around, you will not be able to grab it. Because for you to enjoy the benefit of moving abroad, it's good for you to be able to scale up. Don't be in the crowd of people who have spent 10, 15, 25 years and they are still stuck. You see some people, they'll tell you, oh, I don't want to do that, man. I don't have time for that. So make sure before you leave Nigeria, have a transferable skills. And when you get there, try to harness that skill, try to work on it and scale up. So I remain your boy Joshua, and please make sure you subscribe, like, and turn off the notifications.